17 reasons why they may deny you visas. 17 reasons why visitor visas, student visas, and work visas, including other visas, are being denied. These 17 reasons I want to give you in this video. If you take care of these 17 reasons in your visa applications, it go hard before they go deny you. Because there are some reasons many of you know, but visa matter goes deeper than that few ones you know. That is why I am here to give it to you the way it is hot. And this information is coming from the source. Why you not the mago not the? Because a lot of people have reached out to me these past few months telling me, no, sir, comedy, I got denied my Canada visa. But in my mind, I know that we did everything right. The travel agent added the right documents. I submitted the right documents to him. I review everything before we submitted, or the travel agent review everything before we submitted. Everything was fine. But to my surprise, I just got a decision letter now telling me that this visa is denied. So I will be telling them, what are these documents you used? But behold, during the course of my talking with these people, I will realize that a mistake already occurred in that visa application during the time of processing and gathering of the documents for that visa application. So right here in this video, I am here to give you a breakdown of how to take care of these things. If you are just coming across my channel for the first time, my name is Nusa Komedi, the man with the remedy. Just like what I'm about to drop here now, which is the reason why many of my fans all over the world call me Nusa from the source, because I bring it to you the way it's hot. And also, if you have not yet subscribed, please do so, because a lot is happening here. And also give this video a big like so that YouTube can recommend this video to others who might be interested. And also don't forget, I am not a travel agent. I don't do visas. And I am not also an immigration officer. So I'm just a content creator who do content on travel and immigration in a certain kind of way. So thank you very much. So let's go into this video proper. So like I said, if ever your goal is to travel abroad, you must first try to do things the right way. If not, it'll be very difficult. Number one here is the one many of you know, proof of funds. Let me not take time in explaining this one. You all know what is involved when it comes to proof of funds. That is to say, having money in your account to let those people know that you are okay. When you get to that country, you can be able to take care of yourself. And also to prove to them that you are doing well back home before you travel to that country you are applying for their visas. Number two, misrepresentation. This one, over 30% of visa refusals are based on misrepresentation. Let me tell you what this is. This one is when you are applying for visas, you are conflicting the information you are submitting. For instance, you said in your visa application that you have a job. You said that job, you have been doing it for over 3 years. You said it in one place, in one document on the application. Now, in another document, it is showing that that job you claimed in another document that you are doing is not the same job that is available here. That is, you are misrepresenting yourself. That is, you are giving false information. Because ordinarily, if you said you work for A, B, and C, and D, if there is any place that your job will show in any of the documents, it is supposed to show that you are working for A, B, C, and D. So when your documents are not all saying the same thing, they are telling different stories, and it's you, it means you are representing yourself, and this can lead to visa denial. Number 3, human rights violations. Maybe in that country that you are currently residing in, there are things that may have gone against human beings. Maybe like fights, bullying, something that results in somebody's death. Maybe you are involved, like abuse, those kind of things. If you are involved in any of this, like violence against women, you are violent against men, maybe like rape and other things. If you have been involved in these ones and they know, they will never give you visa. There are people who may have committed all this and thinking nobody knows. But trust me, if they know there, if you apply for visa, they will never give it to you, because they don't want you to come to their country and be practicing all these things you are doing in your country. Number 4, intent to return to home country. If in your visa application, you are not able to convince them that you have the intention to come back to your country, whether as a student, whether as a visitor, whether as a worker, you must have the intention to come back to your country. Because if you are going to any country as a visitor, you are not supposed to be there forever. You have to go there, visit, based on the reason for why the visa was given to you, and go back to your country. As a student, if you apply to go and study in any country, they are expecting you to have the intention of going back home after you graduate, even though you may have it in mind to want to stay there and work, but they still want you to have this intention of going back home. So that is number 4, intent to return to home country. You must convince them in your application. Number 5, lack of ties to home country. We all know what this one means. Home ties. You understand? You must prove to them that there are people in your country you are coming back to. You have family members. This can be parents, children, brothers, sisters, wife, husband, property, businesses, jobs, just like that. So the next one, failure to meet health standard. Normally, if you are applying for visa, there are some sickness that may deny you, that may be the reason for which your visa is denied. Because there are some ailments you cannot travel with to some certain countries. So if you have them, they will not give you visa. Number 7, previous visa refusal. Some of us will know this. You may be applying for visa and there may be a column where they will ask you, have you been refused visa before? If you say no and you have been refused and they know, they will deny you. Because I have said this before, there are rumors that most of these countries, they exchange data. So if maybe you apply here, they deny you in one country, and you apply to another country, and they have given you a form where you are being asked, have you ever been refused visa before? And you said no. Now imagine if this country and this country, they are exchanging data, which means this your denier here, this already has it. That is how it is. So be careful. So once they ask you if you have been denied before, say yes. Because if you say no and they know that you have been denied, it means there is something you are hiding. That may lead to automatic denial. So number 8, insufficient funds. This one, when they say proof of funds, that one you are showing that you have money to take care of yourself. That is different from insufficient funds. Insufficient funds is when that money you have in that proof of funds is not enough for you to take care of yourself in that country. Visa may be denied. So many of you now will say, I submit proof of funds. The question is, the money in that bank statement you submitted as proof of funds, is it sufficient enough to convince that visa officer that you will come to that country and take care of yourself well and go back home? So don't let the funds be insufficient when you are submitting your proof of funds. So number 9, incomplete documentation. This incomplete documentation, this occurs when you are applying for visas. The documents you are supposed to add to your visa application to convince this visa officer in that country that you are who you said you are, and you are going to stay there for the period you have stated in your visa application, and you are also coming back to your country when your visit or when your study or when your job ends. Let me say this again for those who might not really understand this. If you are applying for visitor visa, student visa, work visa, that country is expecting you to have the intention of returning back to your country when your visit ends, when your study ends, when your job ends. So even though many of you have the intention of staying back in these countries, but they are expecting this one I just told you to be your intention of going back home. So that incomplete documentation, I just explained that. When your documents are not complete, that is incomplete documentation. When where you are supposed to fill, you didn't fill them. You jump some columns on the form you're supposed to maybe write name or write this. It means that documentation is not complete. If there are columns where you have been asked some certain questions and maybe you forget to fill it or you jumped it and you submitted the application like that, that documentation is incomplete. So the next one, number 10, travel history. This one is important in as much as a lot of people have been able to get visas even though they have never traveled outside their countries before. But it is also important. You know what travel history means. So I wouldn't want to waste time on this. It means where have you gone to, place you have gone to, So that's travel history. So number 11 here, criminal history. This criminal history means if you have any crime history in your country, they want to know, because they don't want to carry Umila come their country. So you know what that means. So let me not just spend too much time on that. You know what crime history is. So then number 12, personal assets. These personal assets, these are things you can convince the visa officer with that you are coming back home. You may be a single guy. Maybe you are not married. You don't have kids. So maybe you never live with your parents, even though your parents are in the same country with you. So, but if you have businesses, you have properties, you have assets, you have properties, you are into business, maybe poultry, piggery, you have a factory, you have a warehouse, you have things that are generating income. These are assets. So with these assets, it means you have ties to your home country, even though you are single. All these things you possess in your country are the things that can convince this visa officer that, oh, If we give this guy this visa, he has this, he has that, he has that, he will surely go back home. Then, number 13, previous refusal. Okay, I think we said that before. So, if you have been refused before, this one is different from the one I said earlier. This one is that your previous refusal can play a role to your subsequent refusal. Because if that country has denied you visa before, they may want to go and see the reason why your visa was denied. So that your past refusal may play a role. I am telling you this because nobody may be able to tell you this thing I'm telling you. This is direct from the source. If you ask any travel agent or any travel person, they will tell you that these things I'm telling you, they are 100% correct. So you can verify, fact check me. Don't take my word for it. Now, number 14, illegal status in country of residence. Let's say you are residing in a particular country, and that country, you are staying there illegally. If you apply for this visa, they will not give it to you. That is why I have told people previously in my videos that if you are in any country, instead of going back home to your country to apply for visas, if you are eligible and you can be able to renew your resident permit in that country, renew. Because if you renew your resident permit in that country, you can be able to successfully apply for visa in that country. You will do your biometrics there. So this is what they are saying. If your status in that country where you are applying for visa is illegal, which means if you are staying there illegally, you are undocumented, you cannot apply for visa. If they know, it go over you. That is the reason why you see that people in foreign countries, when their documents expires, they go back to their country to apply for visas to other countries. But if you have resident permits, stay there, do it there. So the next one is number 15, inadequate qualifications. Now, let's say you are going as a student. There are qualifications that are required from you before you can apply for a visa. At least, maybe you have O level, maybe you are going there for a diploma program, or you are going there for a bachelor's program. At least you need to have O level. You understand? You need to have O level at least. Then imagine during the process of doing this, you now realize that you don't even have WAEC. Or you even have WAEC, you don't have other documents that will qualify you for that visa. Because you have to qualify for, everybody qualifies for a visa. So that is why you see they do medical, they do biometrics. So if you are not qualified for that visa, that is to say you have inadequate qualification. Number 16, repurpose of visits. You must state clearly the reason, the purpose for which you are visiting. If you are going there for a conference, you have to say it that I am visiting this country for a conference. My conference, the conference I'm about to attend will be coming up so dates. And I will come this day, I will leave this day. But if you feel like after that conference ends, you want to spend an additional 2 weeks, you should be able to tell the visa officer in your application the reason why you want to spend additional 2 weeks and the place you intend to visit. This must be stated clearly. So for those of you who want to apply for this visa by yourself, listen. For those of you that want to use the service of a travel agent, also listen. You don't have to leave everything for your travel agent. There are some things your travel agent might not know. There are some things he might even forget to add. So that is why you have to follow your travel agent bumper to bumper. It is your right to know every document that your travel agent is including in your visa applications. Many of you will just say, my travel agent is working on it, you'll be at home. You will never bother to ask questions. Ask, because if they deny you visa, your travel agent cannot refund money to you. And your visa can be denied based on these reasons. The travel agent will tell you, it's not my fault, they denied you visa. What will you do? You have given him millions, he or she millions. So, wake up. Now, like I said, the real purpose of your visit, you must tell them. Then number 17, insufficient documentation. Insufficient documentation. Now, let me give you an example of this. You are claiming your visa application that you want to travel with your wife. Now, they are expecting you that after claiming you are traveling with your wife, you should have a marriage certificate and other documents, even if it's pictures, that will prove to the visa officer that this person is really your wife. Because there are cases where people have traveled, at the end of the day, they realize that these two people that are claiming that they are married are not even couples. So you will have to prove that that person is your wife. So imagine a case where you just claim in the document, I am married, I'm traveling with my wife, and you don't have enough evidence. You didn't include enough documents to convince that visa officer that this person you are really traveling with is your wife or your husband. There will be a problem. You will never get that visa. Because he or she, that visa officer, he or she wants to be convinced that he or she is giving and granting that visa to the right person. So if they feel an element of skaya, element of skeleje, they will not give it to you. So these are the 17 reasons. If you work on these 17 reasons, apply for visa by yourself, give me results. Now you call me, thank me, say they don't give you visas. So in the comment section of this video, as usual, tell me what you want me to make a video on next. And also, give this video a big thumbs up so that you too can recommend this video to other people who might be interested. So till I see you in my next video, guys, keep moving. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Peace.